Okay, thank you.
The maintenance on that.
Spray paint.
Otherwise,
I mean, isn't there gonna be
people rip the hoses off the.
morning?
Good morning. Yeah, keep it.
No, it's just as we appeared.
Okay, good morning. It is 9:02 on May 4th. The Destination Improvement Committee calling to order. I'd like to introduce our new member, Gary Bromeyer. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Welcome. We do have a quorum, and we'll start by public comment.
Good morning. Thanks for the time today. My name's Michael Arena. This is my brother Jason. I'm from Southeast Media. He owns Mirror Skyline here in town. And I've served on boards and chaired committees, so thank you again for the time. As you can see, if you have a sheet with about the ice machines in front of you, we're looking into providing ice machines and public beach accesses. This year, we're going to be putting ice machines in towns and locations everywhere from Louisiana all the way to Florida, and, in private shopping centers, private places where we lease. As we were looking at locations, we realized that the public beach accesses didn't offer, beachgoers didn't have access to ice machines. So as we continue to work on our plan to purchase and place these ice machines in these different locations, we thought about, well, this would be a good way to create revenue, generate revenue, and give back to the community. And our other companies that we do, we're very involved with the community. We give college scholarships. We other causes, Habitat for Humanity. We're really involved, and that's really what's is the exciting part for us is giving back. And I have a son in college, so I know how important it is for kids to apply and get college scholarships. So when we volunteer our time for these things, that's really rewarding. And our goal is to start with one machine and a beach access here in Walton County. Use that as a test model. And if you look on the sheet, we talk about the college scholarships and some other charities, and we would like to get the committee's input. Also, if we get to the board and do a presentation on what charities would benefit from this, what would the PSA announcements and we go on the videos. And the most exciting thing for me is we think we're going to run the machines. We'll maintain the machines. We'll make sure they're environmentally safe and blend in with the environment. And we'll go to we have 3 high schools here in Walton County. Is that correct?
4.
4? Okay, we'll go to all those counselors, the high school counselors, and we'll help them to set up a program and to where those Walton County kids would participate in civic programs, whether it's Save the Sea Turtles, the Sand Dunes, and then they will be qualified for college scholarships. And also with these missions, so it's not going to be, there will be a generous portion that's allocated to these, and then we're talking at least, we're going to do, we don't know because this will be a test model, but we're hoping to give several $500 college scholarships to Walton County high school seniors.
We don't have any pictures on this, right?
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
We want to just come in the public comment section, and then we really didn't understand that we could get put on the agenda, so we came here first to give you the idea, and if we can get put on the agenda in the future, we'll come with a presentation. And, but we also wanted to do this in the public comment section, just because we want your input on the charities that will benefit. And so maybe we can, Brian, Brian doesn't mind if you guys can have some ideas, and we'll incorporate that in our presentation as far as any type of civic or community service programs that you guys would like to be involved in.
Certainly, but I think we're a little bit ahead of the game, so I would like to see you come on the agenda next time and have pictures of what the machines look like, costs, how you're going to keep them clean and safe, the dispensing of it, public health.
Size of them, you know.
Does it dispense into plastic bags or directly into coolers?
We will not use the bags because of the environment, they will have to put it in their own food.
So it just comes out of the slot. So yeah, I think that would be a great addition to the next agenda. What are the costs? I mean, how much is it going to run? All those things need to be addressed in that presentation.
Okay, well, and again, that's, and we could lease the space and then pay the county, and in addition, still do the community, to benefit the community in other ways. But the county would have no cost. I mean, and it's not going to be something that would have to be bid. It's not a government contract.
Right.
We could either lease it or in lieu of the lease, to give more back to different, community programs.
Sure.
But it's really, that's our idea is we're going to do it in other places, but this is the county we wanted to start to see if we could do it in conjunction with, the county and give back to those, to the schools and the constituents, the residents of Walton County.
Absolutely.
How
Brian?
are they powered? Sorry.
It'll have to be, we'll have to run electrical to it and plumbing.
And that would be at our cost.
Mr. Chair, I would, if I may, I would reiterate what you said. Really, this is under public comment, this is a concept for ice machines. So really for these gentlemen, which we appreciate you coming, to be a proposal, I would recommend that they come back to the next meeting and bring us back the proposal that has a little bit more of the things that are starting to be asked now, including pictures.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Brian?
Yeah, like I explained to the gentleman when he approached me about this, great idea. I can see the public benefit. However, we have a current policy at our public beach accesses of no exclusive vending rights. As you know, we've been going through a process over the last 3 years to start what we call a vendor management program. And the reason is because since it's public property, we have to give everybody fair shake at the opportunity. And so what really needs to happen is the concept of a exclusive right or opportunity be addressed by the Board of County Commissioners, is if they want to do that before we decide what we are allowed to do. See what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And normally the way that would happen is they would decide on if that's what they want to do. And if they did, it would then go into an RFP process where other people that are in the ICE business would have the opportunity to offer proposal as well. So before we make a decision on if this is a good thing to do and we like their idea, we first need to resolve that matter. Or it could go with it, hand in hand. But I can almost guarantee when we get to the BCC, they're going to say, Brian, do we have a policy of allowing exclusive vending at our regional beach accesses? And my answer is going to be no, we do not.
So I guess that would be the course of action that you guys need to figure out, and meet with the commissioners and talk with it. If it's something that you think's got legs, definitely bring it on back.
Okay, so would you be able to tell us that process?
Yeah, that would be, once again, you could go, this is the way I would do it, is I would approach county commissioners on a individual level first to gauge their acceptance of it. Okay, so that's get in a meeting, call their office, they're able to set up a meeting. The other avenue is straight to them at a public meeting, BCC meeting, under public comments, and it'll go very much like it just went here. They'll look to me, and I'll say, currently your policy is no exclusive vending at beach accesses, and they'll make it. They could discuss it then. More than likely, they'll want to have a public workshop to gauge public input on it. And so, like I say, as we talked on the phone a month or two ago, that's what we have to overcome first. And as I've said, I was pretty frank with you, is that right now there doesn't seem to be an appetite by county commission to do an exclusive vending of any type at any of our public beach accesses, because they want to give everybody a fair shake. And so, I'm not saying that there won't be an ice machine at a public beach access, but the route it will go will probably be through a RFP process and it would then be kind of like a service agreement, okay? Very similar to how we have our grass cut on our public right-of-way on our bike path. We saw a need for grass to be cut. We offered up a RFP to the county, to the people of the county. People responded, and the person who was the best value to the county was successful, and they have the grass cutting contract. So, like I say, your best route is individual meeting with county commissioners, and that might be via phone call, to be honest with you, just to gauge your input. They'll more likely contact me. They'll ask us to put it on a BCC meeting for discussion, or they might say you can petition the BCC at public comment or ask to be on the agenda.
Okay.
All right? So that's how it really needs to go.
Okay, well, again, thank you for your time. We'll continue down that way and hopefully get back in front of you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys.
Okay, circling back, I think probably would have held more appropriate to do the review of the last meeting's minutes and approve them before we get rolling further into public comment, if there is any. So, has everybody had a chance to review the last meeting's minutes?
I have not. We had a computer glitch and all that stuff, and when I was notified, I just got all the information, so that's why I didn't attend the first meeting of the year.
Okay.
Is that there was just some kind of miscommunication, so, but
Well, we're
I
not-
don't want to hold anybody up, though.
Take your time and read through them if you wish. We've been going through these for the last couple of months, or couple of meetings, and just trying to not rein in the beach vending, but just get a better control over it,
Yeah.
make it more user-friendly to the public.
I will follow along. I don't want to delay anything, so by no means.
Mr. Chair, question on the minutes. Looking at page 3 through, I think it's 6, the items that were talked about in the ordinance, the items that we see in our minutes that are read that was the action taken?
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Items were approved and read on that last one.
Right on. Okay, thank you.
Did they add about the fire department being notified or having the
That was-
power? Is that
That's
in
not
there?
indicated in red, so
We
I
need
think
to
it was,
We need to make that happen.
Where is that, what bullet point is that one in?
I don't even see it. But it was in the.
This is actually action taken by the TDC, not by the BCC. Because item in red said, number 1, items discussed and tabled in favor of being sent back to committee by BCC. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm looking, it's just correct.
Then we need to make sure.
the item was brought up at the March 14th meeting. Do you have any feedback on that?
Right.
Which item?
Where I brought up underneath the red on page 6, where we talked about the current ordinance, talks about emergency management, SO, and the EOC having the authority to declare a state of emergency, but we talked about the closing of the beach and the waters, that we insert language that the
That wasn't
SWFD.
in the change in the ordinance that we made, so that's why it's not in red. You just said that at the meeting.
Right.
Yeah, that wasn't in the
Right.
ordinance, so.
But, yeah, I understand that. I just said, it says Mr. Kellenberger stated he'd bring that up at the 14th meeting. Was it brought up?
I'm sorry, Chief, I did not bring that up at the 14th meeting.
Okay.
Is there any way we can have that added? Because I really think the fire department needs to have the powers to close the beach.
We can, and
I think it needs to
I
be-
apologize for not following through on that. I erred not doing it, but I think Chief, me and you and county administration need to meet, along with the EOC and the Sheriff's Department. and
Yeah, I just
discuss
want to make sure, clarify for everyone's benefit, it's not a matter of the fire district having the power to do it solely. What we're saying is it is a consensus decision anyway for any kind of natural man-made event. We just want to clarify that we're part of that consensus decision-making as part of that.
Yes, sir.
It's more like housekeeping for us, private there.
It was, and I can't recollect the complete conversation we had, but I believe that we need to handle that internally between the agencies that are involved. And then the county admin make the policy change to the code.
When's that, do you want to, would that come before the TDC or the BCC to have that?
It needs to be done internally between the agencies involved. and then it would go straight to the BCC. I don't think it's a destination improvement matter that,
The agencies are on board.
that we need to weigh in on. I think it's a given already. It's just not written verbally.
Right.
But I think there's an understanding that South Walton Fire District, as the life safety component on the beach, should be, is and should be involved, and it should be written down. But I think that's a situation that needs to be handled at the BCC level after we talk with the agencies involved, South Walton Fire District, Sheriff's Office, County Admin, and extension by County Legal, and then have Sydney bring that up under her legal section at the next BCC meeting as a housekeeping issue. And Chief, like I say, I apologize for not following up. I will follow up this afternoon. I have other business with them, and I will respond back to you with what our efforts will be and when it will be on the next BCC meeting.
The only other thing I see, Stacy, on page 2, where it speaks on the coastal dune lake signage, I know I've been singing about the coastal dune lakes for about 10 years, but we need to change sings to signs, about the middle of the paragraph.
Oh, there we go.
Which one?
Right here.
Oh, wow, there it is. No. I can't see that.
You didn't see that? Okay.
Fourth line from the bottom.
I can't see that. Sorry.
Well, and if you're gonna change the other words, then there's another one at the last sentence. The Dune Lake Advisory Board, where aware, it would be work aware.
Good catch.
There's a competition down there.
Come on, Stacey, come on.
Chief editor in charge.
Can y'all make sure y'all's microphones are pulled close to y'all? Are they working?
I'll turn it on. See if they're turned on as well.
The button should be
Buttons-
extended. Okay, so noting those two grammatical errors, and
I move to approve the minutes as presented with those 2 errors. Corrected.
we have a
Second the
motion.
motion.
We have a second. Do we have any comment on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the meetings are approved. Okey doke. Hey, Brian, real quick, the sign at Western Lake that's now on the south side of the road, are we gonna move that to the new bridge?
We are.
Sweet.
There'll be a new sign.
We'll get it done in the next couple of weeks. We can find an appropriate location for it, but I'm sure we can do that. Maybe Mary Lou will come out and help us.
Yeah, okay. Are they gonna redo the sign before we move it?
Well, announcement I have to make is that our marketing director, PJ Loman, has decided to do something different, and she is no longer with us. And so I will have a discussion with Jay as to if we can just step back to the signs as they had been approved previously, and see if we can just go ahead and get those in production. If there needs to be any changes to them, they can be done very easily. The sticker portion, I call it, which is the graphics, is actually just a large sticker, and it's about $100 to replace. And so when the new marketing director gets in place, and if they decide that there needs to be some changes, they can do that then, and we can make changes by that time. Some of the previous signs we have in place now may have got to the point where they've been damaged or faded or whatever, that they need to be replaced anyway. Once again, we made those signs so that it would be easy to change them out as they got vandalized, defaced, old, or whatever.
Excuse me, Brian. Didn't the TDC vote on that design charrette that would have consistency in the signs all throughout the county?
Well, this was actually a program that got started before that design charrette.
Okay.
And so a basic design, it's a quarter-inch aluminum metal plate bent, so that the top and the bottom is vertical and the face is at about a 22.5 degree angle. And so it was already kind of a standard set. In other words, the program had been started, pilot program, second phase, and then third phase. But they did mesh with the basic theme of the guideline. You know, the public space design guideline was a book purposely made as a guideline, not a catalog. And so when you went to do a certain component, you would go to the guideline and you would, you know, look at what theme was put together, and you would pick from those. There's a couple of different themes. Most of them were, you know, natural in ideology, natural elements. But what that did is it gave flexibility for the different communities that want to keep their standardized logo or theme and could surround it with what we would consider a common element. And so the answer to your question is they do somewhat fit into the ideology of a theme. They're the what I call state park brown base color, and then each individual sign had a theme and content for each particular lake.
We did incorporate the signs that were already made for the coastal dune lakes into the design charrette because they use the exact same design for the Grayton Beach total.
Okay.
It's the exact same sign, so it's in part of the charrette.
So anyway, I'm going to circle back with Jay and suggest that we move forward with the previously designed signs. And I will report back to y'all via email as a committee as to what our intent is. And hopefully at our next meeting, I can say our signs are in place.
One other question, I'm looking at the minutes of the meeting. Has anybody reached out to Walmart and Snappy Turtle and told them about the 6x6x6 for the tent sizes so they're not selling the 10x10s?
No, ma'am, we have not. Once again, as part of that customary use and changes to the ordinance, TDC is tasked with getting the message out. Part of that's a marketing function.
Okay.
Unfortunately, like I say, our marketing director was caught up in doing a bunch of other things because that position had gone unfilled for a while, and now it's unfilled again. And not that we don't have a marketing effort going on, it's just focused on other things that it needs to be focused on. Not that it doesn't need to be focused on that.
Right.
But, you know, to do that means, I mean, there's many points of effort, okay? It's existing signage that needs to be changed. It's a message out to the community, to the various members of the community, for them to understand. So we got started on it, but we haven't completed it.
Okay.
I'm sure you're aware of what's happening in our state legislature right now with the insertion of an amendment that would prohibit county, city municipalities from enacting customary use laws.
Good grief.
So it made it through committee. It got passed the House of Representatives Tuesday, I believe. And I think the Senate convenes next Friday, right?
They're extending.
My guess is it'll come up before then, before they convene.
The doors in Florida.
Or closed. I'm sorry.
The session is supposed to end Monday.
When? Saturday. Yeah, I'm sorry. To me, whatever. Closes on Saturday, so my guess is it'll come up before that. So we might be seeing a change here that, anyway, I'm taking a sit back and wait attitude. I don't want to go change a bunch of signage
I understand.
and then have to change it back again.
I just see so many of those tents going out of Walmart, it drives me crazy because I know they're too big.
I know, and you know, to be quite honest with you, you know, we're having, you know, public beaches, you know, people are beginning to understand the code. On private beaches, you know, customary use hasn't been the huge issue that we thought it was going to be. You know, we're receiving some complaints, but by and large, the people that control the private beaches, you know, have done a very decent job of letting their renters and guests and all that know that they're not allowed. So there hadn't been that huge, what I call, you know, push by the local citizens to exercise their customary use. Now, granted, we hadn't had summer start yet either, but spring break wasn't that bad.
Spring
This
break is a
lull
good
right
training
now
ground, so.
certainly is not bad.
Okay, thanks, Brian.
So the way you're talking about the 6x6x6 tents, though, is it sounds like that would that would apply to everyone?
So-
My understanding is originally it was just vendors. And, because
Well,
when we
it
had
applies
asked
to
that,
everyone on the public beaches. Does
Okay.
not apply to
Private.
privately
Yeah.
controlled beach. Now, your beach is a little different, you know, because you have an ECL.
Mhm.
Okay, so, you know, the beaches on 30A, the controlled out of mean high water line,
yeah,
15-foot setback from water does not apply to them. The 15-foot setback from the dune or line of permanent vegetation or line of permanent structure, dune walkover, does apply to them because it's for
Right.
emergency vehicles.
so, I mean, we would love, I know personally, on our beach, we would love nothing more to enforce this 6x6x6 because they just become flying projectiles.
Right,
But,
yeah.
you know,
Like
we
I
were
say,
told we could not,
The
so.
the resort communities already have a lot of this in place,
Yeah.
and with the customary use, they have, it's been, you know, like I say, you don't have too much of a problem with people coming onto your property exercising customary use, do you?
No, not the customary use, but our guest will
Yeah.
basically tell us what they feel or, you know, and they'll buy those tents. We're the ones,
Yeah.
unfortunately, that are dealing with that, so.
Okay. Moving on,
Financial report?
that was inserted erroneously. That's-
Thank you.
We use a board
That's
template
exciting.
for
We don't get to
all of
talk
our
about it.
meetings.
No spreadsheet.
I thought we got a whole bunch of money to spend, Brian.
Our financial is zero.
Okay.
Oh, man.
All right, let's cruise into new business. We've got a presentation from Green and Clean.
Be Mr. McCann.
Hello, sir.
Okay, so my name's Max McCann, and I've lived in Santa Rosa Beach for the last 5 years with my wife and my daughter, Rachel. We love living here, and we're really happy to be a part of the community. So I've got 2 ideas I'd like to share with you that I feel could benefit the county in many ways. First idea is it's a new system of managing trash and recycling while promoting tourism and businesses at the same time. Primarily designed for beaches, but these remote receptacles can be positioned pretty much anywhere. It's intended to hold, separate, and conceal large amounts of trash and recycling with easy disposal. It has the ability to easily identify and locate a place for trash disposal and recycling. It's intended to solve the problems of overflow and weakening with the bags that are in place, provide a clean and safe environment, provide protection from the elements, which they currently have, improve the aesthetics as well. Noticeably and attractively display county logos and public service announcements. These banners can be printed with just about anything on them. They're all weather resistant. Advertise business opportunities. It's intended to produce an effective and efficient system implementing a unique and modern process at the same time, ultimately leaving a positive impression on the user. The public will benefit by having less trash on the beach. They possess recycling options now on the beach. Having a safer and more sanitary environment. The public benefits by having a system that is effective and easy to use. They will gain knowledge of public service announcements, county promotions, and business opportunities. We also feel it is a very attractive visual for the beach. I know that's your old logo. I just superimposed that on there. Nothing was printed. So the composition, it's basically built out of a steel or aluminum frame. It's fastened together by steel hardware or weld. They can be constructed as 5 feet long by 3 feet high, 2 feet wide, which will allow for 5 separate bays, or we can position them as 4 by 4 squares, allowing for 4 bays. Each bay has an accompanying rim insert that supports the neck of a 40 to 45 gallon trash bag. Each bay can be customized for intended applications. Mesh flooring will also be available to support the bags. Two ends will be made of solid PVC board or corrugated steel panels. Vinyl panels will cover the remaining sides, concealing the contents, and they're attached with a combination of securing hardware or Velcro that allows for easy removal. You can see the bags will be removed from underneath the unit, allowing for maximum capacity and hopefully minimizing disposal frequency at the same time. A vinyl strap hinge system fastens to the rim inserts in the lids. This eliminates any sharp, rusty, broken hinges. Lids will be made from PVC board or corrugated steel panels. The units can also attach to posts already in place, or by the same type method that's already there. 4x4 posts that are embedded into the sand. Me and my company would, and we will, construct, position, and install the units. We will inspect and maintain their working order and physical appearance daily. Repair or replace the units in any part or in whole within a timely manner. We will create and position and rotate the promotional materials. We will add inspection and maintenance personnel as necessary. So we are proposing to lease out the units yearly based on a 52-week calendar. Priced at $100 per week per unit with a minimum of 8 units. A one-time fee of $100 per unit for installation and setup. There would not be a fee for any replacement units. Options to sell and display ad space, either through the county or through myself. We'd like to position them initially at all 8 regional beach accesses and increasing as appropriate. I feel this is the first service of its kind. It's very unique to the area and any beaches that I've ever been to. It also shows awareness for a bigger environment and prepares for rapid growth in our area. So that's called the Green and Clean Square.
So is this to replace the brown bags that are presently?
I'd like to go as far as to say I could replace every brown bag.
And you've got equipment to handle that tonnage of mass? I mean, Brian,
Who's taking
73,000 bags last year.
73,000 bags?
Who's taking the
I would
garbage out of the
not
bins?
be disposing of the trash.
You would not be disposing.
county-
So the TDC still,
Along their same route they already take down the beach, and they have it.
Mr. Tolbert?
Thank you again for your presentation. Do we have a current recycler program in our county?
You do, but I feel it needs improvement.
My understanding is the current recycling program is that you just put it in the colored bags and then it's inmates at the dump that do the recycling. Is that correct?
We have trailers.
Yeah, we don't-
Besides the trailer.
Point of my question is, do we have separate bins like residential, commercial, and other places, including our beaches currently?
No.
And that's why I feel it's a definite improvement. All the cities that I've lived in, Florida, over 20, and every beach, has a process implemented already. And I feel this would be good. It's a satellite location. They can be positioned anywhere around the county and also be advertising at the same time.
I think the problem is that there's no recycling effort at the dump. The county doesn't recycle. Is that correct?
Not very much.
They could not,
According to
no.
my
Limited.
Pardon me?
Limited is my
Yeah.
understanding, but Brian's got better knowledge since
yeah,
you were raising your hand earlier.
Recycling, we have a recycling effort in the county with the blue trailers. Recycling is also based on the commodity price of recyclables at the time.
A thing that concerns me about it is it's like a billboard on the beach.
Yeah.
And I think that's, kind of,
It could be exclusively for Visit South Walton, or it could be Remain Plain.
right.
We could put the public service announcements for sea turtle season, the red flag warnings, anything that you would be, willing to contribute for the sake of the county. Doesn't have to be advertised.
The current receptacles, though, they kind of blend in as much as they possibly can with their color and their type and everything. This seems like it would be like a billboard, like you said.
I'm concerned about the wind too. I mean, I live on the water. I have some straight line winds that would disappear at my house. It would fly off.
That's made of steel frame and aluminum, and it would be attached permanently to the post as far as the bags that are already in place there. honestly, my opinion is the bags are somewhat unsightly, they're ineffective, they rip, they tear, they overfill. This virtually eliminates overfilling. Because of the maximum capacity and the way the walls are not solid, they have room to expand. You never see trash falling over the top of it, which I've seen many years ago. And that creates a safer and more sanitary environment. You got trash, falling on the beaches. People have to go out and pick that up. The bags rip, they're completely inoperable.
And what about the plastic? What about the animals tearing up the plastic bags at night? I mean, we have raccoons on the beach that would just be feeding them.
Do they get into the brown paper bags?
Not that I'm aware of, but I
Well, I
know.
don't see any difference on why the animals wouldn't feed if it was an issue.
I just don't like the plastic.
Yeah.
There are other options.
Permanent structures on the beach, another one?
Who's gonna be noticing that other store?
Just-
How do you want them here? Should we be
Guys.
talking about
Brian, did you want to say something else?
I do. This also falls into a exclusive agreement
Exactly.
on public property,
Yep.
which, once again, the county has not shown a propensity to take on that. And so the first hurdle we have to overcome is, do we want to offer an exclusive opportunity on public beaches? And if we do, the Board of County Commissioners has to make that decision. Mr. McCann's ideas, while, good in concept, right now, we don't have a mechanism to do that. A few comments about the brown bags. Cost is about 50 cents per bag. Once again, we went through 73,000 of them last year. They are somewhat biodegradable, that's why they were picked. They do fit into the scheme of things. In order to get 73,000 bags off the beach every year, it takes a lot of manpower, and we try to do it before the crowds hit the beach so we can be more efficient. The rings we have and the way the bags go in are very efficient as to remove and replace. As with the poles that they're on, we just did a consolidation effort to put what we call the 2-bagger and the 4-bagger on one pole. In the event of a hurricane, we are required to remove everything from the beach in a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
That one item is one of our biggest efforts, is to remove all of our garbage. We have 500 plus of these receptacles on the beach. And like I say, applaud them on his efforts of wanting to do that. But right now, we simply don't have the mechanism to do it. And I'll be quite honest with you, I don't want to change from our brown bag mechanisms because they do offer a green solution, as in they are somewhat biodegradable. They offer a efficient solution, and we also use them for our beach rules and regulations advertisement.
Mr. McCann,
My initial proposal is just for the 8 regional beach access.
I
To go further with replacing all of them, that would,
and I appreciate that, and my experience with steel and salt is that it's a rust. It's going to rust, and that's. But aside from that, the exclusive use is not going to allow us to move forward with this. But also, I'm pretty much certain it's the sentiment of the committee that I don't think it's sightly for what the community likes to see when we go to the beach. I don't want to see advertisements. We don't have billboards on 30A, and I don't.
The exclusive right, would you mean for personal businesses? Or?
Correct.
Well, I'm not that interested in that too. I'm looking to see this promote the softball in the county.
Right. Maybe there'd be a.
Decide whatever you would like to put on it. I could have printed.
Sure. Well, maybe there's a way to work with Brian and have, on the 4-bag or 2-bag post, this one's for plastic, this one's for aluminum, or, try to do something like that and work with the county and the existing systems.
We actually have recycling garbage cans at the top of the boardwalks that
Perfect.
are solar-powered compactors.
Okay. Do we need to make a motion, or do we just not move forward?
Thank you.
I think we can just, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
But why?
Oh,
But if it's gonna fall under the same thing, do we need to listen to this?
Yeah.
and I would think this is going to also, Mr. McCann, not to cut you off, but I mean, the exclusive use of an inflatable machine is also going to fall into that exclusive use of public access. Yeah, you,
No, leasing the land. to
It's
put
the use of the
unit in.
property.
That's the problem.
but that would be something that you could take up with the commissioners directly, or if they want to see those go through, then
Brian, does the county have a mechanism for an unsolicited proposal?
They do. Anybody can solicit a proposal to the Board of County Commissioners for
That's where
consideration.
you all need to go.
Yeah.
But the Board of County Commissioners relies on the Tourist Development Council Advisory Board, who relies on the Destination Improvement Advisory Board to vet out, things that would like to be done on the public beaches. And so, while Mr. McCann has some good ideas, it's just right now not county policy to do exclusive agreements on public property for the purpose of, advertising or whatever. In fact, I don't believe it's the marketing committee's basic idea of not having individual marketing efforts. They have a great push to do a standardized marketing effort. And so, like I say, while they're good ideas, they're just not appropriate for our beaches right now. To say they'll be appropriate in the future, I can't answer for that. We've been trying to do the vendor management program, which is the exclusive use. And it needs, it's something that's being considered to resolve a problem on the beach. And when we do that, it's going to create exclusive uses for that complete piece of property.
Right.
So we certainly don't want to encumber property right now with small agreements that may have to be altered if and when a large agreement is put in place. Another reason
Just
is
like the
it
ice
seems
machine,
to-
Brian, doesn't it require an RFP?
Yes.
Just like you had stated with the ice machines, they're neat concepts and ideas. It
Yeah,
would require that permission.
if the BCC decided to change policy, that yes, we would like to have various forms of vendor agreements for vendor services at our public beaches, they would change that policy. The reason we don't have it is because if we do an air machine, then somebody will approach us about a sunscreen machine, and somebody will approach us
Soda
about a
machine.
Coke machine. And
It's-
somebody will approach us about, a whatever machine or a booth. And then we've taken what we want to be a somewhat natural portal to the beach and turned it into a commercial venture.
But it's also cross-grained to what I believe is not the county or the state's ability to purchase land to subsidize a private business.
Right.
Beach vending in and of itself utilizes public land to make private revenue, and I have a problem with that. So that's, again, falls in line with my sentiments towards your ideas here. I just don't think it's appropriate use of funds for, especially in this environment where we're acquiring more and more beach access.
Not fair use of funds.
Correct. I mean, I'd be very happy to manage property for the county and to charge a fee, but it's not the use of public funds. I don't see that being, and I'm not in favor of it.
I would say, Brian, if you need any kind of statement from our committee going forward, if this comes up further down the line, as far as us being relied on, I don't know if it's the opinion of everybody, but similar to what you've already said, I apologize if this came up before I got here with the ice machine, but I think we are, with our beaches, like you said, we want it to be a natural look. This kind of thing just commercializes the beach, and I think we're desperately struggling to move, stay out of that vein. And so I think anything like this, our committee would be inclined to say we would not recommend it.
Right.
And especially any kind of advertising of private businesses.
Right.
Signs everywhere.
Right.
That's a never-ending battle, and this would just,
Yeah.
add to that, or anything like this. Not to criticize this, I get it in certain applications, but I think on our beaches, like you said, right.
Yeah.
There are other
I think,
locations.
In the spirit of Robert's Rules of Order, since it's been presented as new business, there needs to be some action taken on it. So, it's been presented, you probably need to either request a motion for discussion and then vote on it, and then it would move forward. Mr. McCann, like I say, we're an advisory committee, because whatever the disposition here doesn't mean it can't move forward to the next committee. It will just be carried forward with the disposition of approved or not approved. If a motion is,
What we did
Tourist Development Committee. So you would contact our associates over there at the Visitor Center, Lisa Foster. More than likely, Jay will then contact me. He would probably want to talk with you as well. But I would say let's get through the business of this committee so that we can make sure that we're following proper chain of
Order.
consideration and approvals.
Okay, so do we, would anybody like to make a motion on these two items? We may do them individually. Let's do the green and clean. Motion
Just
to
since they're
accept.
basically both following the same concept of a commercial enterprise on public beach access, they can be considered as one.
Okay, so we'll combine them as one. Do we have a motion?
I don't think we need to.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we recommend to the TDC Advisory Council that these and other similar,
Commercial endeavors.
commercial endeavors are, we do not recommend them.
Second.
A motion to second. Is there any discussion? Any public comment on that?
How does that work with me sitting on the council? Do I need to abstain from that, or do I need to, can I?
No,
No,
you're
you're-
on the council as a member of the TDC. You're
Right.
on this advisory board as a member. You're able to vote.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I'm not breaking rules,
Yeah,
so,
no.
which
Very
I
good.
can do.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Motion carries. Okay. Old,
I will contact Jake, and I'll get back with you. And,
thank you, Mr. McCann.
Thank you.
Old business. Coastal Dune Lake signs.
Like I stated before, you know, our signs went into a little bit of a limbo. And we will, I will circle back with Jay and see if we can't get them moving, and then report back to y'all as to what the plan is.
While she's pulling that up, another old business item is the artificial reef program. We've got the commencement of the deployments this year will start probably by the end of this month. We're going to do we've got 370-something structures going in the 9 nearshore sites and 3 offshore sites. And you'll start seeing that boat probably by the end of the month. Out there, they're going to probably start on the west side utilizing the Destin Pass. And then as we kind of get over, we'll probably start coming out of Panama City, St. Andrews, and working our way back from the east. Then once they complete those, the snorkel reefs will begin. We haven't as an organization put them in any order. We've got one at Inlet Beach, one at Topsail State Park, and one at the Miramar access. So unless you guys, have a favor to which way we start, we were just planning on flipping a coin and going at it from that direction. But forewarned is fair warned. We got more stuff coming in the water.
Awesome.
Did they stay with the designs that they chose?
We did. The Topsail is a seahorse. The one at Miramar is a dolphin, and the one at Inlet is shaped like a cobia.
Excellent.
Can I ask you, how are you gonna advertise those to divers?
Facebook.
Will it be something on the beach saying 200 feet that way?
We just like the Dune Lake signs. The bent, we have those. We have 2 of those in place right now. One at the Garfield Street access in Grayton, and one at the State Park in Grayton.
They're big.
And they're good size, and there'll be one of those at each of the accesses. If the pavilion permits, if there's a space on the wall, we'll have a larger sign like we're going to put at Grayton. And then advertisement through it is mostly through social media, and the dive shops in Panama City are super excited to have a shore dive accessible, opportunity. But hopefully we'll get with, there's a push right now with the TDC, and the former marketing director was working with that to include it in a lot of the TDC publications and advertisements. But reaching out, it's a budgetary issue with the reef organization to fund advertising for it is not in our budget. But if there's enough chatter about it to where I think it's going to take
So
off.
the Destin dive boats, for instance, they'll use it in our.
Absolutely. They're super excited. And there's already private industry looking at opening up here in Walton County to take people out to them.
Cool.
You should go out and check it out, Bob, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's
On a flat
fantastic.
day, you can paddle out there and take a little bucket, and oh my gosh, it's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, somebody was out there last month and got a picture of a blue angelfish, which is, we haven't had one seen off the beach that I've ever been aware of. So it's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Dune signs?
Updates?
Have we gone through that?
Okay, as we have talked over the last couple of meetings, need to get back on our picking out of amenities to our beach accesses. So we had a few ideas submitted for garbage cans. Once again, they follow kind of guidelines and natural things, as well as durable and useful. Looks like that model right there is probably the best. And so as an effort to, we had to go ahead and accessorize Pilcher Park, partly because of the grand opening we have with the governor, or the senator, and other dignitaries from the state. So we went ahead and picked out tables that matched our other regional beach accesses. They're HDPE. We did change the color of them a little bit. We picked out gray tops and brown legs. The gray kind of matches the boardwalks over there, so we thought that would be good. We put in our standard grills, or put in our standard grills, which is your basic state park type grill. Benches. These are the benches we have already located at certain public accesses. This is the garbage can we picked out there. Blue matches our color, and somewhat matches the configuration of the one that seemed to have a dominant theme in our previous efforts. So what I'd like for y'all to do as a committee is, let's finalize what we want to do at the rest of our beach accesses. And let's get these amenities purchased. I have money in our budget for this year. My budget for next year is not going to be as great as it was this past year. We're doing some different things. So some of my improvement projects, not going to have as much money as we've had. The reason we had a lot of money over the past 2 years for capital improvements is because the previous years there wasn't any money spent on capital improvements. There's been some rollover. So as you know, we've taken on a big effort with I call our facelifts to our regional beach access and neighborhood beach accesses. We have those almost designed and permitted. And we'll be doing construction RFPs during the summer, and starting in late September, October, we're going to start doing these facelifts. So I had some money under FY16 and money under FY17, and we've now covered all those. So the first groups, like I said, design and permitting always done. We've had some difficulty with FDEP and our CCCL permits, but we're getting through that. And we also have purchased a lot of property units, and that requires capital improvements to live. So the money that we had before got sucked up, and moving forward, I won't have as much money each year. What I'd like to do is get what we have accessorized like we've been trying to do. So if we can make these decisions as a committee and move forward, we can get rid of our, hardware store 32-gallon containers with the whole cup on top of it.
So everything that you purchased for the Pilcher Park was part of the design, charrette, so all those hours paid off? Say yes, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll say I'm not using it. That might have been officially.
That's good to
I know.
know.
Accepted, approved, or
Right.
whatever by the DCC. And I've been using it because it did make it through everything else. And
Right.
they're good ideas. And,
That was a lot of work.
yeah. So I spoke with Jay. There was a few things he wanted to tweak with the format of that guideline, since it's going to be used a lot in the future.
Okay.
And once again, that was a marketing effort that now sitting in marketing queue. But I'll ask him as well. Hey, listen, we're in good shape. Let's move it forward. If we want to change it in the future, we'll change it in the future. But we've got to do something because we got things to buy.
Well, you showed us a bunch of pictures, so are we talking about that today?
We can't talk about it today.
I mean, are we gonna make some selections today, or?
They were already
Oh,
purchased.
okay, so why are?
Pilcher Park, right?
Oh, no,
Oh, but the-
right, for Pilcher, but what about the rest?
Accessorize, because we had a big large grand opening.
Right.
No, I get that, but I mean,
The trash
did we want to
receptacles
look at
for the
receptacles for
beach
the other
access?
places now?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd like for us to come back and, really what I'd like for you to do is, once again, we had an effort, people submitted, for whatever reason, we got stalled, and we never did make any final decisions on what we'd like to do.
Well, why don't we do that today? I mean, we have to just look at pictures and say, yes, we like that, yes, I like
Yeah.
that, but I mean, we keep putting these things off. I have pictures from a long time ago, and I'm thinking, why don't we just pick them today?
Let's do it.
Okay, so I like that one. Let's do
The
that
double one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay?
Those would be at the beach accesses to replace the brown bags?
No, at the top. of
Just
the
at the
access.
top.
And use the color that the walkovers are used of, right? Can we do that?
Pardon me?
Use the color of the panels on the walkover to match that. Blends into the environment.
I say use the double
Disappears.
one that's on the pole.
I don't like the push little toppy things, even though they may keep out animals, they get creepy and no one wants to touch them, so, the domey things.
So the
we
garbage
hate.
ends up everywhere.
And so they push it and it doesn't really go in, so they don't want to touch it again. And if,
We just got all
I know, but I'm still finishing up on that other thing, how badly I don't like it, so.
The double one on the
This
pole.
one is good.
Yeah, it's better than
The
most.
reason is because those hoodies are their
They have those at Pilgrim Park, yeah, why not?
So they have to have that toppy thing, okay.
Yeah, they have them there. Yeah, they're okay. We haven't really had any more issues with people taking stuff.
Those are probably gonna be metal.
Gotcha.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that what was good for Pilcher Park should be good for all of our beach accesses. in
Hold
terms
on.
of This particular equipment.
No, not
No.
that dome top thing.
No.
Uh-uh.
Well, I mean, we have a motion. Do we have a second on that?
Baywater is different than Gulf water.
Pardon me?
Baywater is
You're gonna run
different
into the same
than
issue we just
saltwater.
had with this gentleman that proposed the
What's
other.
gonna last on the
It's gonna
bay is
rust.
not gonna last on the Gulf of Mexico.
Okay.
I can tell you, my bicycle rots in 6 months. On the beach, it lasts three months.
Can I throw something out too, like of a general conceptual nature, and again, I'm not being critical, but I personally would like for the TDC color scheme to just stay within the sign. I don't like bringing out the bright yellows and bright blues
No.
on buildings,
Right.
receptacles, anything like that.
It's
I
a
mean, I
blend.
know our bathrooms at the beach accesses are already, I mean, I'd even like to change those shuttered color on the TDC Welcome Center from that blue and go to a more natural, look. Sorry, this is my opinion, I'm throwing it out there. The sign's fine with the bright colors and blues and stuff, but I think anything that we do that is a thing, I don't know, accessory or a building or
Permanent
whatever.
structure.
Permanent structures, they should be, and quite honestly, I think, that actually makes the sign pop. If the sign is only, and your whole color scheme isn't built around your sign of everything else. If your sign has the color, it makes the sign pop, just like your shirt. Your sign has the colors and your shirt is tan.
Yep.
Nice. Just throwing that out there, like
Quick-
the blue on the trash can, it's fine for Pilcher Park, but I wouldn't repeat that.
Quick question. I want to make sure I heard clearly what was, when I heard the words, what was stalled. What was chosen or kind of vetted out during the design charrette? Are the choices? Where it stalled is within this committee?
No.
Oh, as far as the final selection of the.
All of that came out of that design charrette?
Right. So
It's-
the design chart, once again, is a guideline,
Right?
basically the themes.
Okay.
Right, so some
Okay,
of these
I'm
right
clear.
here were actually included in the guideline. And so our task was to pick a particular make and model to accessorize. And so these items are the ones that were submitted.
Okay,
No.
so can we do that today? I mean, aren't we?
I'm perfectly fine with,
I don't-
what we'd like to do.
Or I can send y'all links to different magazines we order from and you have more of a choice.
No, but if this is what came out of the public,
Yeah.
and
This
we've
is-
narrowed it
This
down.
came out of us. It came out of this committee.
Actually, see, we're getting confused, I think,
Have a nice
between the
day.
design guide and what we're doing. The design guide just gave general direction. It didn't like pick things. These were ones that I submitted for one of our past committee meetings.
Right.
Because Brian had asked us to submit
Yep.
potential examples. So these just were things, and I tried to pick things that I thought stayed in with the
Within-
intent of the
yeah.
design guide.
The next slide I do not fancy those.
No.
Those two. I like those.
I do
Yeah.
too.
And
And I
like the
think
one
the
on
brown
post.
should be replaced by the Trex gray of the thing. But
Yeah.
that's just,
Right.
So they kind of all
It-
works
right.
together.
It's
And
harmonious.
It disappears into the environment. And we
Yeah.
don't have
Can
to-
they do that, Brian, on those? Can they change it to gray?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have, probably 16 different colors.
Oh,
There
wow.
are grays, matter of fact, what's the color of that gray? Is it just gray or is it like?
Lovely gray.
The
Driftwood.
Cape Cod gray, the color
Oh,
of the
sounds
deckboard.
perfect.
It sounds like from Prestwick,
And
right?
that's
Is that the
probably not
company?
wood, I'm guessing, is that some kind of?
Prestwick is the vendor?
It's like a Trex material.
Yeah.
Who's it?
Prestwick, is that the vendor?
No, it's,
Recycle Away is who we,
Cycleways, yeah.
oh, it's actually
Every community will recycle sort of be different.
So the boards are like fresh plastic, recycled plastic?
It is all HDB recycled.
Okay.
Does that lid swivel out of the way so you can pull the bag out, or what happens?
it comes off, I believe, the lid comes off.
Okay, so it's easy, it's not gonna grind up a bunch of time to get the garbage out.
Once again, these will be at our regional beach accesses. You know, top side,
Right.
picnic pavilions.
Yep.
Perfect.
Now, I would ask too, like in the future, when I envision Walton County having a very robust recycling program, I'm assuming that these could be like, maybe you could color coordinate the tops for recycling, or looks like there's some little placard on the front.
You actually can, they can, put a small placard on the front, or they can wrap her into the front of one of the boards.
Brian, move forward a few slides to that blue one, and there's an example of what that looks like. Right there. See the white? It says recycle.
I don't like that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
that black top is just,
It
Yeah,
is.
he just showed the recycle, see where it says recycle?
yeah, no, I get that, but I mean, it just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that whole thing,
Um,
we didn't pick that.
2DT.
that's what, like,
That's good, Brian.
International Star.
may the 4th be with you.
So we have our tribute at Filter Park, Star Wars.
We've only got 4 of those in place right now, and I'm sure we can replace the tops.
But if we could feel like we did something today, we could get those garbage cans picked out.
I think, if the sentiments of the committee is the first one,
Yeah.
the brown with the,
To match the walkover colors.
that
Right.
one.
Yeah.
Do you have a color choice on the metal components? Or is it just black?
Tell you what we'll do.
Brown would be nice.
We'll cut the catalog cut sheets out. That'll be always committee members this afternoon or in the morning.
Okay.
So if y'all will respond back
Vote,
to me.
yeah.
By today,
Yeah.
by
Yeah,
later
let's get
today.
this done.
No, just in time.
I want to check one box off.
And if there's a consensus, we'll say,
Like we did
10-4, we got it, and we'll get it in order.
Just remember, 10 years.
Excuse me, Brian, Pilchard Park is the one at 331, right?
We got that done.
Does the county, or is that some other agency that,
Okay,
are you gonna have anything for fishing line and all that stuff, so that doesn't
And
get
what
out
they
in the
call
yard?
task
Yes, actually,
oriented.
Fish and Wildlife
I get that.
Commission
Is that
is
FWC?
installing some,
We're gonna get you a banner that says we
Excellent.
checked the box today.
For recycling?
And, I'm sure you're aware that there's a lot of extra
Make a
money
motion on
available
this and let's
from
move
that
forward.
bridge project.
Yes,
And so the items have been identified, and there's still being some items identified, and the county commission will make a decision, but Fish and Wildlife is there that day.
they
I spoke
handle
briefly
that.
with them about what they were gonna do, and that was some of the things they'll do.
I make a motion to proceed with the one on the right, the pole with the 2, and then Brian will send us
10-4.
color options, and then we'll vote. Can we vote via email? Just email them?
No,
No?
but what we
Yeah.
can do is we can approve, you can add to your motion that go with the color scheme that's muted, earth toned, or something
Okay.
of that nature.
And
Where if there's brown, and that's it, right? Gray, the gray of the Trex, and a brown top is our preference if that is available. And
That
then you don't
commercial
even
brown
have to
that-
send us anything.
Right.
And
Can
then
they-
it's over.
What was that again?
That if we decide that the sides, the slats, the color slats would match the walkover,
As
the
close to it
grayish.
as possible.
And then if brown is available for the top instead of black, we prefer that, and then it's done if that's available, and then we are done.
Yeah.
Hold on a second,
So the motion is, yes, to,
Kate, do,
the motion is to proceed with that one with the color selection that's muted and matches the walkover. The
the
best.
walkover and the metal of
And
the
the metal.
signs is the metal on the top, if
Right.
available.
If
The metal
available,
of the signs, exactly.
Brian,
That's I have a motion.
Question.
yeah.
We do not have double trash cans at all locations. So are we okay to just buy the single trash cans to go in those locations?
The small.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Single or double pertinent to the area.
Gotcha.
Do we need to talk about the park benches? Can
Not
we-
yet. Hold on, please.
It could be in preparation for recycling later, just have double everywhere.
You know how long we've been
Okay,
talking about park
so for
benches?
now,
Hang on.
yeah.
So we have a motion and a second.
Oh, you got the second.
No, you've got the second. You may
I
want
have no idea what just happened.
Okay, we have
I heard a lot of.
we have a
offensive-
motion and a second to purchase singles or doubles pending on the location and what is existing there.
Okay,
The slats on the outside are to be the gray. The metal on the top is to be that commercial brown metal that's used on on lake signs.
which is what you were saying the benches or the picnic tables were going to be
What
anyways.
these look like already.
Correct.
Already have those.
Okay,
We have a motion and a second,
got it.
and that's on those color schemes and that
I
design.
have ADD, so I just.
That's-
it needs to be
Okay.
clear
We
cut
all
and
do.
concise,
I have
so-
extremely manageable ADD.
So, all right.
So now we're up for a vote.
No,
We have a
we're
motion.
We're
discussion.
Oh,
Yeah.
discussion, sorry.
Anybody want to discuss it more?
That's not.
Any public comment on that? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Me.
Elaine?
Yeah, I think that, okay.
Kate made it,
You were-
Elaine seconded it.
So, all right.
Okay, now, park benches. The zap on the slides.
Slides, click, click, click.
Lee,
click,
you,
click.
were you having a question? Did you have a?
No, that was actually.
Oh, okay.
Can we do not, can't we do the same thing with the brown feet and the gray slats?
That's what I was.
We can?
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's.
Color coordinate with the trash
Oh my
receptacles.
Are you kidding me? Everything's going to look the same? It's awesome.
Awesome.
Already ordered.
Okay, pardon?
Making that motion.
For Pilcher Park.
Second part, second motion.
Wait, this is for Pilcher?
No, he's commented, they've already ordered for Pilcher.
Oh, okay.
But that's
This
fine.
is for the beach
Filter's
accesses,
done.
correct, okay.
We're just talking beach.
Yes.
Okay, so
Put benches at the beach access.
Okay.
so benches and picnic tables, we need to motion, hopefully to resemble the trash.
Same
receptacle.
color, same color.
So you're gonna, Mary Lou makes a motion.
To
Lee
make them
second.
match
Lee
the garbage
seconded.
cans.
Okay.
We've already picked out the colors.
Yes.
Right.
I will second her motion.
Amen.
It's already been done.
It's already been done by Lee.
Yeah, same or
That's
similar
fine.
colors.
I will second Lee's motion, however it works.
Okay.
Gary's the third.
Motion and a second that the picnic tables and the park benches and the bike racks,
Yeah, like that.
They're already brown.
Yeah.
they're already brown. So the picnic tables and the bike racks or park benches are to resemble the same color scheme as the trash receptacles previously agreed to. Motion and a second. Any discussion on that? Any
Just
public?
to clarify, that's gray boards,
Yes,
brown legs.
Brown.
Yes, sir.
Metal.
because that's a brownish gray anyway.
Motion second. No more discussion here. No more, any discussion out there? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion approved.
Can we knock off a couple more?
And I actually do have a question / comment about this. Last week I went to the public meeting about the pathway project, and it came up in there, and we've talked about it here before, of the need for trash cans, possibly the benches along the path.
That's how it all came about.
It would be wonderful.
To have the
if
same
we all-
ones.
Yeah.
I like this look.
So you recommended the use path meeting last week?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Did y'all talk about the rest
I
areas?
didn't even know
We
what
did.
it was.
Okay, so all new paths are being designed to have what I call rest areas.
Yeah.
Those are pump outs in the path, they'll have benches and garbage cans.
Are they gonna
And we,
match?
How about a
and
cover
we
for
already
them?
have the
Yes.
colors picked out.
Amen.
And they're gonna be in
Whew. We are a
a
progressive county.
location this past week that had some, and I said, that would probably be a good idea,
Yeah.
but, it's not included in the 283 to 83. We probably need to think about that. That's a
Okay.
pretty big component.
We talked about
So
that
I
at
would
the
like
design
for-
charrette.
What was this?
The cover for the park bench in case it rains, you know,
Shade
come on.
or rain?
They gotta sit there and smoke and put their cigarettes out.
Let them get rained on. Whatever.
Anyway, for something that large, I would like for everybody to submit what they think are some good ideas, and let's discuss it at our next meeting. Between now and then, everybody,
You're cut off.
But at least we have,
I just,
At least we have the colors chosen.
Yeah, I mean, I think,
Think about those and, get some ideas from other communities or on the net or whatever, and submit them to us electronically prior to the meeting, so we can assemble them all. And we'll send them out with the agenda, you have a week to look at it, and then we can have a good discussion about it.
Excellent.
But for now, we can pick out the benches.
We've already got all that.
We got
Yeah.
that.
we've done that.
Benches,
Okay.
How, what
and
is the
trash receptacles.
frequency of a rest area on the path?
280, on the path between 83 and 283, there's two of them.
So that's once every mile, roughly.
Roughly.
Perfect.
And so what I'll do is I'll look for locations that lend itself to that.
Where
Yeah.
you can kind of bump out.
Either by a nice vista or a
Right, very good.
wide spot. Because there are some locations like the path from 395 to Eastern Lake, it's just gonna be hard to do, because there's just not much room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
look for a place, and, part of that path rebuilding is reclamation of right of way, and in that effort, maybe we can, find an appropriate place, but.
Put that right there at the split, where
Yeah, right
we
there
call
would
it,
be a good
yeah.
place.
As-
There needs to be a place further, between.
Right.
Somewhere in the goat feathers
That's a
area,
perfect place to
Not to,
We actually had, we purchased that land there right across from Cafe 38. Also, our new design theme on new regional beach accesses is we put the bathhouse adjacent to the road right away, so that it can be used on a multi-use path.
Excellent.
And the beach.
not to poke the 10,000-pound gorilla, but if the Destination Improvement Committee could maybe recommend that the multi-use path at 395 intersection be moved to the south side of the road, I think the congestion issue would be significantly alleviated.
Good idea.
Yeah, y'all can do that as a committee. I mean, everybody knows that that's it right now.
Because it crosses over just to the west of the intersection.
It does,
Right there at
So it could-
Cowgirl Kitchen, it crosses back over. So if we just kept it on that side, but we'd have to put a trail where
There's
there's
no
really
space.
I agree.
Not
I
much
think a lot of
room.
people have come to the conclusion that the path on the south side of the road would be appropriate and safer.
I think it'd be a whole lot
Decisions
better.
have been made
Instead of
about
cutting it.
the commissioners, so, you all as a committee can make recommendations as you would like. And, move forward, keep in mind, the decision has been made on that, and I don't know if there's opportunity to change it now or not.
Are they still doing the roundabout, or did they can't do it, right?
There's a design that's been,
It's
proven.
turn lanes, they're putting in some turn lanes, right?
Yeah.
But they're keeping the path on the north
So if they're
side.
putting in turn lanes and keeping that path on the north side of the road,
It's-
that's ridiculousness.
I mean, it's a Band-Aid on a bullet hole.
It's going to signalize entry.
That's crossing more lanes of traffic. You're not just crossing the 2 lanes, you're crossing 4 lanes of traffic.
Wasn't there a legal reason for
That's
that?
all the arguments, all the arguments you made.
That's
have,
crazy.
Viability, and they've all been discussed, and decisions have been made. Like I said, y'all can make a recommendation, and it will be a recommendation of this board. But, at this point right now, the project's moving forward with that design. And I think there's a challenge out there on it, but I don't think that challenge is gonna be successful.
Can I ask a stupid question? If we're the Destination Improvement Committee, I thought multi-use path was part of our purview. How come there was a meeting about the multi-use path that I didn't know about? I mean, just maybe I'm not plugged in like I'm supposed to be, but if there was a meeting about the multi-use path, I would have been so interested in that. But why isn't that us? I thought we were Destination Improvement.
We are, we're an advisory committee.
Okay.
All right, so items can go through us, and they probably should go through us. However, any item can go straight to the BCC if the BCC wants it to.
Yep.
Okay, so as an advisory committee, what we offer moving forward is a recommendation.
I get that, okay.
We don't offer a stop and go.
Mm-hmm.
And so it moves forward with a recommendation. Now, that project had been ongoing for a long time. It had already moved to the BCC level. And unless they say,
Well, you're talking about, I'm talking about the meeting you went to. That, how does she find out about that meeting? And maybe I'm just not plugged into the right place, I guess.
BCC meeting when they scheduled it, that's how I
Okay.
talked about it.
Because I'm thinking that would be of interest to us to get more information. Now, Lee went and she knows more. But I would like to know more, so I just want to know, how do we do that? And maybe I'm asking in the wrong place. Maybe I should send you a private
There's a
email.
couple ways to make sure you're aware
Say
of
how
the meeting.
stupid I am.
apologize that it doesn't send out some mass emails to this committee, because it probably should have. I'll be honest with you, I thought we were more connected than what we are, I guess. The best way to do it is to be a member of Connections. That's our online newspaper. When it comes to you via email, and included in that are all public notices.
I think I already get that from the TDC, you mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, so it was listed in there. It was listed on our website. It was,
Yeah, I don't
the
get that.
county's website. It was, included as meeting minutes from BCC meeting where it was scheduled.
No bar.
And, it should have been sent to y'all via, our committee mass email. I apologize for not being, I'll make sure that anything else like that is definitely done that way.
Okay, so it's
Point
part of my
of notification, there is a meeting coming up for the Dune Allen Public Beach Access on May 23rd at 5:30 in this room.
Nope,
Yeah.
nope, conference room.
So the TDC conference room.
TDC conference room.
Is that on the new access?
Huh?
Is that on the new access?
The new
Right,
regional.
for that new Dune Allen property we bought on West End 38. There will be an opportunity to receive input on conceptual design and to offer input on design development.
And that's on the 23rd?
23rd at 5:30.
And also, I'll add back to the missing the meeting, another great thing to have, Connections is great, but also if you go to the county's website and sign up for meeting notification alerts,
Okay.
you will get an email every
Overwhelmed.
single time any meeting is scheduled.
Every meeting. They're
It's a
hard
lot
to turn off,
emails.
too.
So that's another good way to say.
I have a question. Looks like we've opened the Timpucci Trail to the north over the new pedestrian bridges. When are they going to tear out the south?
I asked that question yesterday, or the day before, and I was informed that removal of the old path was not included in the contractor's, contract.
Oh, my goodness.
And,
So it's gonna stay
I
there?
disputed that,
Yeah.
and I have not gone back and reviewed the contract documents.
Is that like
I will.
Preble Rish? Is that something they should have done, Cliff?
I have to go back and review contract documents to figure
Okay.
out, because at one point it was in there.
Right.
And I don't know why it's taken out. There were a lot of different agencies that had input into that.
Mhm.
FDOT being one of them. I don't know why they would be concerned about it, but the whole purpose of moving it was to get it off the
Right.
north side or the south side of the road.
Exactly.
One way or another, it will be removed
Okay.
and appropriate signage put in at the junction points of where the path,
Yes.
old path goes with the new path.
Okay.
So I know this is probably really old news, I don't know how I missed this. Why is it necessary to remove it from the south side?
Because there's two pinch points where it crosses the bridge. The bike path is on the vehicular bridge. You know, it's real.
Too close.
It's in the
Yeah.
barrier wall, and it was dangerous.
Yeah,
And so
too
that
close.
was
Too
the
close.
reason to move it.
Let's start with the Coastal Dune Lake Advisory Board. We're the ones that
Okay.
said that that's too close. We need to save.
My thought on that is that I would love to see, eventually, the ultimate goal needs to be to have that path on both sides of 38 all the way down. So it kind of breaks my heart to see path being
Right.
taken out that could move toward that ultimate goal. But, instead of just like moving that or cantilevering that path on the south side and getting it off the road a little bit, I
No,
just hate to see that.
It's dangerous, man. If you've been.
Yeah, we were.
No, I get it, and there are other places where it comes right up to the road, are we gonna be ripping those out too?
We are.
We are down by Deer Lake.
Oh.
Yeah. And this redesign
In Camp Creek Lake.
and replacement effort is to attempt to get the path, as much as we can on one side of the road. I know we can't do it. We got, that thing crosses over 38 multiple times. The other thing is to get it away from the road and remove the hazards of being so close to the road. We've been very fortunate that no little kids get hit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've ever been across those bridges
Yeah.
on Western Lake, and there's little kids in the middle of summer, it just scares the.
Me too.
Yep.
I am not advocating leaving it close to the road.
Yeah.
I'm advocating finding a way to move it off the road and have the path on both sides of the road. That ultimately would be.
I agree.
If we could
As
find
you
the
know,
funding, that would be
Coastal Dune
great.
Lakes, requires bridges.
You're right.
And then there's a lot of other people that have different ideas on how to, not mess up the coastal dune lakes, as far as our footprint, our ability to view them and all that. So I wouldn't include in all the decision-making processes, but there was great discussion about which side we need to be on. And it was ultimate side, the north side was better.
Yep.
Cost.
It's all about public safety.
Feasibility, state park, involvement, and all that. We'll figure out, Mary Lou, what Bill's path is, and blast email everybody so they'll be in the loop. It'll come out one way or another. Right now, it's like under separate contract, so. Okay, on with some other updates that are March trash totals, pretty consistent through this month. April saw a little bit of a spike. Once again, it's about par for last year. Capital improvement projects, we just talked about Craven Beach. Phase 2 is the side from Western to 283. We got held up because we couldn't get an easement on Craven Beach State Park for grading and drainage. There's a new bureau chief and a new person, secretary. We met with them. They are now in favor of granting that easement.
Yay.
We'll save a bunch of money and make the path better. Sliding in between those poles.
Nice.
The
Excellent.
parking's done. There's still some amenities need to be added to parking.
Just 1 second on that. You guys did an awesome job on that. It is good looking, it's well needed, colors are awesome, and y'all did a great job.
A lot of that is our design professionals who do that.
Brian, you have a question?
Who's the new leadership at DEP?
Pardon me?
The new leadership at DEP you're talking about?
His name is Gary Clark. What is that?
He's a favorite.
From what I understand is, our initial meeting with him is that he sees that the drainage easement would be beneficial to the project and not take it away from Parks and Mission. Not saying that he has completed it, just saying his initial review of it was that he understood why it was initially approved and didn't quite understand why it was secondarily disapproved.
Who disapproved it the first time?
Fellow that was over in Panama City, former bureau chief, about 2 years ago. Once again, all the things about consultants, our involvement has been funding and haven't been included in all the meetings. This is what I'm getting secondhand information from our consulting engineers. So, use a state park representative. Do you have different information?
I don't work for the state park. I work for Atlanta Botanical Garden.
Yay!
Atlanta Botanical Garden.
He used to,
okay.
yeah.
What is it?
He's bringing back orchids.
Yeah.
Outside Atlanta Botanical Gardens. He found one orchid at Cedar Lake State Park. He took it to Atlanta and then replanted it, brought it back.
Good
So
for you.
nice.
By the way, happy birthday.
Yay!
Thank you.
Okay, so, working through that, once again, easement has not been granted, but it appears that there is some favor of it now. And it may be, once again, it would make, for a better project as far as the multi-use path goes. Doesn't appear to be too degrading to the state park system. The 9838 West Connector, we have that included in next year's budget. It's also an easement process from Topsail State Park. And Linda Gates with Public Works Environmental is working through that. Once again, probably won't be starting until after FY18 begins. 14 Matthews renovations, we talked about 283 to 83. We had our meeting. We're going for the BCC here in the near future to get final approval. We'll get the construction RFP completed and we'll start construction in September or October. Beach access renovations, NRDA Phase 3, we're substantially complete with Bellevue Heights and Ed Walleen. Still a little bit of work to be done at Ed Walleen, but this project done, those actually they're open for use. There's still just a little bit of work on those technical pavilions. The West that has been started. There was a few issues with some change to the plans by the contractor that weren't approved. And we had to ask him to pull back a little bit. We got those ironed out. There's Josh, we got those ironed out.
We do.
And they're back working on it. Okay, so expect that to be opened up by
End of the month, hopefully.
end of the month.
Is that the name that's going to be, is Palms of Denellen?
Yes, we have one called Palms to do down on the east, so this one we call Palms on the west. I'm always open to new names. Our beach access names get, named by people that may not be as creative as other people.
They're long.
Is that the new regional access that they just acquired?
This is the new neighborhood beach access at the junction of East Allen Loop and 38.
Okay,
The condominium complex here is called Palms of Denellen.
sure.
It's
So
one
we're on
on
either
the
side.
east, and now we're putting one on the west.
Right.
It's also next to this guy.
Let's not name it this guy.
Yeah, really.
Thank you.
It's actually being built on an easement as part of this guy's property. When they got a development order, they were required to put 2 public beach access easements on each side of the property. This is,
They've got more frontage. They've got more frontage than Watertown.
Are they gonna fight that?
I spoke with the representative of this guy prior to it, and he said, you get an opposition from us, it's included in our DA.
Great.
And,
Do they know that?
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
the road know that?
Yes.
Oh, just making sure.
we're happy with the construction.
Okay.
Okay, so our main access over on East Mitchell, we got started on it right now? No?
Mm.
We're waiting on a
Permitting.
permit. We're ready to start. That's the same thing we talked about, got a double slide there. Our renovations, like I said, this is the FY16 money, and it was 4 regional beach accesses and 16, I believe, 16 of the neighborhood beach accesses. Once again, we're pretty much through design permitting. However, we got backed up against summer, we're not gonna take on any construction projects during the summer. So we'll start with these, and the FY17 ones in September, October.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am?
Do the words get power washed ever?
The words.
The words that are ground,
We take the boards up, right, during the winter,
okay.
for the boardwalk?
The ones that have the
messages on
the
them.
messages on them, they get so dirt, sandy feet and stuff, make them disappear almost, so I wondered how they get refreshed.
Well, we periodically clean them out.
Okay.
So we did change our color scheme to white, so when they get filled in with white beach sand,
Yeah.
doesn't make a difference.
Okay, 'cause I think that they're still not showing up really well.
That's, I'm not making fun of this logic, I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know about
It's
that,
trial and error.
but dirty feet are still dirty.
They are. No, we do periodically wash them, and Josh, our beach maintenance manager, has taken note of that, and will address it appropriately.
I'm just saying what I see, that's all.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't.
We're getting punchy now.
I didn't mean to start.
That
But we
wasn't-
did change the color of them because of that. The color of the lantern. That's it. Okay.
If we ever,
That's our capital improvement. We have another meeting, like I say, for the New Allen property coming up May 23rd. We'll schedule one for the Amalfi Coast property and one for the Seagrove Beach property that we just purchased. To have, once again, my way of doing that is we employ an engineer to our engineering services pool. And we do what I call a first pass conceptual design, so that there is something to talk about. And our basic scheme now is centralized restroom with the breezeway model, so you have men's and women's on each side of the breezeway. Adjacent to the road right of way, so the multi-use path has connectivity, and then parking, either whichever way lends itself best. New Allen property will be a U-shaped road, parking angled on each side, and then a boardwalk centrally located by a sidewalk that comes out of the breezeway. And there'll be a observation deck at the top, one walks going down with a switchback back to the center, and be ADA accessible and of our basic boardwalk design. But that'll all be presented at a meeting. There'll be more input, in any of these cases, we'll do heavy landscaping on the buffers to, keep the adjacent neighbors somewhat pleased. But, that's our basic design scheme, but as it all, we have public workshops, take public input, and assign that stuff into design.
And the naming of these, I get stuck on this because it's all.
They need to be named, once again, I don't think I'm the appropriate person to name them, because I don't have the history a lot of y'all do. But it ought to be, I think y'all ought to think about it and offer up a recommendation as a destination improvement committee. That is your appropriate name, if it's a person or if it's
I say short is better.
I think Vernon Bishop would really be a nice
I think
access.
everybody ought to, submit, and then at the next meeting, we ought to think about it, or subsequent meetings, think about it, but they ought to be named, and they ought to be named appropriate for whatever ideas it is. If it's a dog or a person that was instrumental in tourist development, or if it.
How about mosquito control? That's so important. I mean, Vernon Bishop, he's mosquito control. He started it.
History than I do, so.
I mean, he's still alive. That's why I'd love to.
That's the it doesn't have to be somebody who's deceased though. That's the his name escapes me, but the first director of the TDC, Malcolm Patterson. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, let's.
Because it was badass and Malcolm that both started it originally. We have one named after
Bob.
Right, Butler's.
Is this yours?
So I think that would be. Bob, do you want to stick around and reschedule the next meeting, or is that already? Have we?
Are we rescheduling it?
Okay.
Are we rescheduling?
Or
it?
scheduling the next
It's
meeting.
on the. it's
Is
on
it already
the-
scheduled?
Yeah.
I have a question,
The
though.
second week in July, since the first was.
I was given dates for the rest of the year.
You were?
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just different
Yeah, it's.
different boards. Sorry, cross
Are we
pathing.
at council comments yet, or we got? Okay.
I was approached by a public citizen that was requesting that we consider a solution for people that enter our public beach accesses for their daily walk and like to pick up garbage. He said, your garbage collection stations are nice, but there's no mechanism for us to pick up garbage in a bag. He said, I bring Walmart bags myself, but if you have a device that dispenses bags, people pick up garbage while they walk.
Mm-mm.
And so,
No.
BYOB.
Yeah, bring your
Those
own.
will end up as trash.
I bring a 5-gallon bucket when I
Fortunately.
walk.
The wind will pull them and start flowing.
Yeah.
It's hard to fill a bag.
We'll be picking those up.
No decisions required. I just want to run it by you, and I think I understand the general consensus.
Look at Lee.
Less is more.
Okie doke.
So much plastic.
Council comments, I
All I
have,
have.
Council comments here?
I have one. Does he have one?
No,
Okay.
Me?
Yeah,
You
yes.
ready? We spent the better part of 40 minutes of our time and the merchants' time on something we couldn't take action on. Can we, avoid that in the future?
I tried to avoid it. I was told that I have to give people the opportunity.
But we have to tell them at the end that we can't take
I
action.
told both of them that,
Okay.
and explained to them what the correct mechanism was. And actually, with the garbage cans, I forwarded it to marketing because it seemed like it needed a marketing decision. And it then came back to me because it was no operations decision. And I said, it doesn't need to be. And I was told that if people want to address an advisory board, that they should be allowed an opportunity. Now, you always, the advisory board, have the opportunity very quickly to say, hey, thank you for your presentation, thank you for your request. However, Andy did a pretty good job of that the second time, and I was trying to intervene very quickly.
Okay.
So, but I get your point. Now, I wish I could just say, hey, no, it's not going to happen. try to do that in a nice way. But at the end, like I say, I was told by superiors that you need to give people an opportunity. The board has the ability to coordinate or regulate like that time being presented. See what I'm saying?
Got it.
Yeah.
I actually do, am successful in a lot of people's.
I was gonna say, I'm sure there's a lot that,
Yes.
Some people,
we don't see.
you know, come and get the final word.
It's free world.
Yep.
Lee?
Just wanted to give y'all a quick update on some projects that are coming to fruition, and some of which we've seen in the past on this committee. The East Corridor Improvement Project, we finished finally the first phase of that, thank God. We did a ribbon cutting a couple weeks ago, and it was really well attended. It's looking good down there. We're now collecting, not fast enough, but estimates for the remaining phases of it. And we'll be submitting those to the county as soon as I can possibly get them. And then also there is some energy around pedestrian cyclist underpass there at that intersection that we've talked about in the past. It has been submitted as part of the state budget this year, which would be fabulous. That would be the best way and fastest way to get this done. So at the end of the session, after the governor signs all the bills, we'll see in the budget, we'll see if it stays in. Our senator, Senator Gaynor and Representative Drake are supportive of it, and so we'll see if that makes it. If not, we are pursuing other funding sources as well.
Where would that be?
At the intersection of 38 and 98 in North Beach.
Okay.
So probably there,
30 Avenue.
if that parking lot in front of Shades.
Under's better than over.
Much. And so that project is continuing to move slowly but surely, and then you've probably seen I know you've seen the work out here. This is going to be a great change for us. FDOT is putting in landscaping out there, and it's a beautiful plan. A lot of beautiful trees and other shrubs and things like that. And so that is supposed to be completed in August, according to FDOT. And the TDC has graciously, and BCC approved it, for the TDC to maintain that going forward. The first 2 years, the installing contractor will maintain it under DOT until it's established, and then the TDC will take it over. That allowed us, FDOT doubled the budget on that project because of the county agreeing to take that maintenance on. They added irrigation. It originally did not have irrigation, so it was going to be kind of a halfway kind of thing. And they also gave the county and the Scenic Corridor Foundation the opportunity to have a lot of input on the design. So that's exciting. And then there's also, you've seen the widening project starting down here in Mar Beach. There is a, FDOT hopes to do a landscaping project once that is done for those medians. So very realistically, in the next 4 to 5 years, we could see all of these gateways, 3 gateways, fully landscaped. And we are also, Scenic Corridor Foundation's goal is to sort of close the gaps over time in between with some type of landscaping. And so that is very exciting. And also the TDC and the county jointly are taking over the maintenance of a lot of the areas along 98 that are developed. Some of them that are not so developed, like between 395 and Watersound Parkway, they're not. But the county agreed to fund that maintenance, and DOT will contribute part of that maintenance. So we're going to see a significant increase in the number of cycles per year of mowing and trash pickup and edging and all that jazz going forward. So it's good destination improvement kind of stuff happening on this corridor out here to come very soon. Very excited about it.
Awesome.
trying to remain calm.
Good job, Lee.
Exciting stuff. So.
Mary Lou, Gary?
I just wanted to plant a seed, the Kellogg Center. I would like to someday see us have a nature center back on that 10 acres that that family left us. I know that the main priority now is to get beach access, but I think a nature center in South Walton.
We actually have money in the FY18 budget right now for our renovations, improvements to the canoe kayak launch area of the Bayside Park.
Right.
I had money in for a nature center building that would have been similar to what was originally planned, 24 by 24, basically community center type building. However, that has got bumped off the budget because we exceeded what, our first pass at it, we were way over what our expected revenue is, so I had to cut some capital improvement projects.
Okay.
But we'll go at it again for FY19.
I'm gonna keep asking for it, cause I got
Yeah.
so many people behind me saying, make a noise.
Yeah.
The
To
family's
build a
really
building of that
unhappy.
size, it's not a whole bunch of money, but it is, some design and permitting and construction is, $250,000 to $300,000.
Will the launch at East Mitchell have facilities so we can put signage, or will it be another secret garden?
Signage, it'll have our basic, hoop signage out front.
Right, but signage to get back to there to launch kayaks, because, back here on Kellogg off Nellie, we can't put any signs because we don't have any restrooms. That's what I was told.
Because we don't have any what?
Restrooms?
Oh, I'm sorry. You mean on FDOT roads?
Yes,
Correct.
right, because nobody knows about that park, and it's
right.
beautiful.
No, unfortunately, FDOT has rules and regs on what signs can be placed on their right-of-ways. And, we tried to get
I know.
signage for Kellogg, but the lady up in Defuniak was just, she wasn't budging off of it.
Okay,
We can go at it again,
Just do it.
I don't know if we'll be successful. I mean, I can almost say we won't be, but
is it possible just to put one bathroom in there for like a family bathroom instead of having two, just save money? I'm just asking.
I mean, we can look at it as a county project, but, these are FDEP, NERDA Phase 3 money.
Right,
And we've been battling them from the get-go on what we can, what the money needs to be spent and how it needs to be spent.
okay,
Even though we cut 2 of the projects that were originally identified, that money quickly went away.
okay,
And every meeting we've had with our FDEP representative is that, up until the start of bidding it out, they were concerned that there wasn't enough money in the project.
okay,
And so I don't even want to try to deal with them on trying to add something to that project.
okay,
When they get done and turn it over, we can consider some ideas. It's not a very big piece of property. It's
it's 10 acres though. That's what
I
I
thought you were
hear.
talking about East Mitchell.
No, I'm talking about Kellogg.
Yeah, no, in the building, when the building gets built for the nature center,
Mm-hmm,
it'll have a component of a public restroom in it.
okay,
It'll be so you can access it from the outside. And it'll have what I call a unisex,
Got it,
bathroom inside.
yep,
A small kitchen buffet type, component, so that like a true community center.
You been there?
mm-hmm,
This stuff like that.
Eat.
Hampton Park?
Yeah, like Paget Park.
mm-hmm, okay.
It'd be something similar to that.
It'd be great to have a nature center, a place for tourists to come learn about the
Yeah.
coastal dune lakes and the Choctaw beach mouse and everything else that we
Yeah.
I could
protect
see
here.
it as being, used for what it was intended in that,
Right,
there's some express language in there about nature center.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And so after me and Josh took it over and then got it back, because it went away for a little while.
Right.
We had the opportunity to research all that documentation and, I petitioned Jay, hey, we gotta do something out there,
right,
let's fulfill the agreement.
please.
But like I said, my capital improvement money is not as great as I want it to be this year, and it won't be as great as I want it to be next year. And so
Right.
we got things that we need to do versus things we want to do.
I just want to plant the seed to keep it in your mind.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we got it.
Okey doke. And lastly, I guess if anybody wants to volunteer to help put these reefs in, don't hesitate to call if you don't have anything going on.
Do what now?
When there's always a need for extra hands to move buoys and whatnot during the deployment. So if anybody's bored, give me a call and get on the boat.
That's exciting to watch.
I got an
Yeah, who's
8-foot,
bored?
got an 8-foot rib. We'll bring it down.
An 8-foot what?
Rib.
I don't
Well, the
understand.
inflatable boats.
Oh,
Oh.
Rigid
Back and
inflatable
forth, back and
boat.
forth.
It's got a little 4-horsepower motor on it.
you can get out there. It's only a half mile.
Depends on how
Okey
big
doke.
the break is.
Everybody's in agreement. We will motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Moved. Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Appreciate y'all's time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stacy.